Warning, this video is meant for mature audience. Thanks to YouTube and Copa having an argument, I now have to warn you. So if you're under the age of 13, be gone and go down to YouTube for kids. Thank you, and now enjoy the video. Well, the new year has started off with a great amount of anime that has come out, and of course, it wouldn't be the new decade without some new issues. Folks, I'm the Noob, and I'm coming at you talking about the latest controversy that has happened. It is Funimation taking an anime off their website. Now, you might be wondering what anime I am talking about. It is the anime called Interspecies Reviewers. If you have not watched this anime, let me give you a little bit of a warning. It is not meant for kids. This is one of those animes that are definitely not for children. The whole backstory of Interspecies Reviewer is in a fantasy world setting, monsters, dungeons, adventures, blah, blah, blah. You have a trio of adventures. You have a male human adventure, you have a male elf adventure, and you have an angel who joins them who has fallen from heaven. The trio like to go to brothels. Actually, originally started with the human and the elf, and when they found the angel who damaged his halo so he can't go back to heaven right now, they brought him along to do their favorite pastime, which is to go to brothels. While goofing around and chatting about elves and elf brothels, they were talking with a bunch of friends, and they basically did a fantasy Yelp review of a brothel. And this eventually caught on to where they make money off of leaving these reviews on different brothels that they go visit. Now, see, that is the basic backstory. There's a lot of comedy in this, and it is very, very ecchi. So, the controversy that a lot of people are kind of chit-chatting about is Funimation originally had it on their website for streaming. It got up to episode 3 in sub, first in dub, and then Funimation took it off. What a lot of people are thinking is Funimation couldn't handle what episode 3 turned out to be. See, during this episode, the males, because all of them are basically males, except for the angel. If you don't know, the angel is both boy and girl. But they went to a brothel that has a potion to change sexes. So basically, people who go into it can experience what the other sex has. So you have all these male characters turning into females and then having sex with other females and such. And the angel became full female during this, and the angel decided to hook up with a hyena beast, which apparently has a dick. So, a lot of people are thinking that Funimation couldn't handle a lot of this girl-on-girl action, and so they got rid of it. Now, I'm starting to kind of think that the same because I decided to go look at the Funimation website just to see some of the other animes that they have in their fan service section, and I was surprised at some of the ones that I found. We have animes such as Freezing, Hensuki, Onee, Seven Mortal Sins, Shimote, A Boring World Where the Concept of Dirty Jokes Doesn't Exist, The Testament of Sister New Devil, and Witchblade. Now, these are just some that I picked out because these animes I have all watched, and each one is very unique and quite ecchi, and some of them take it very far. I mean, just the Mortal Seven Sins and the Testament of the Sister New Devil are very, very ecchi. So to have Funimation basically come out and say, oh, this doesn't jive with the way that we want to run our website, but yet have these full episodes of these series on there makes me question it. Now, yes, I will agree that the third episode was very, very lewd and pretty much almost crossed that line into hentai. It was either just at or just took a step over, so I can kind of understand. But at the same time, looking at their fan service section, you cannot tell me that you aren't going to allow certain sexy scenes to happen, and yet there are plenty of animes in there that you show that have very explicit things that you would see in a hentai. I mean, Mortal Sins alone was an anime I literally stopped like in episode 3 because I was watching it and I kept going, this is a hentai. This is basically a hentai. So to have a show like that be allowed on there, and yet Interspecies Reviewer, which is basically comedy with an ecchi side to it, kind of annoys me. Now let's also take the Devil's Sister one, where your main protagonist powers up his party of girls. Basically, a devil, a succubus, a human friend, by basically getting them off. By, you know, fondling them and stuff. That alone is stuff that you would see in hentai, and yet it's all on there. You can watch all the episodes. Funimation is going to let that stuff on, but not the Interspecies Reviewers. I personally would love to have been in that board meeting when they were discussing on what animes to greenlight, because you know somebody was like, hey Bob, have you heard about this anime, Interspecies Reviewers? Why, yes Steve, I have. I heard it's going to make us a lot of money. Bob, do you think that maybe we should look at the source material and see if it's okay? Nah, Steve, just put it on there. We're only after the money. You know it's probably something like that. And then, of course, episode 3 came up and, you know this happened. Bob, what the fuck? Steve, I told you not to put that on there. Get it off there, now. I'm personally a fan of this anime because it is retardedly funny to see the reviews on them, and it's not just everyone's getting an A. No, I mean, in the latest episode that just came out, episode 4, everyone was giving them 1s and 0s because it basically was a succubus orgy, and the guys didn't make it. If you were a fan of this anime, luckily, a new company has decided to take over the streaming rights for this anime. It is a French-based company known as Wakamin. I'll put the word up there. And they have taken over the streaming rights for it. Funimation has basically said, no, it's too much for us. Which, come on Funimation, you need to have an 18+ section on your website. There are plenty of animes you can greenlight that the US will watch. There was another one. It was called Rin. I can't remember the rest of it. I'll have to look it up later. I'll probably put a picture up here. I have not watched this, but from what I have heard from people, it is basically torture porn. I'm a little concerned that something that people have described as torture porn is on Funimation, yet this comedy was not. But I digress. Folks, what about you? Have you been watching Interspecies Reviewers? Have you been a fan of it? Did you enjoy it? Or do you think it's just too much smut for your good taste? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to catch y'all next time. See ya!